Thank you very much for inviting us in again tonight. We are very glad to be here, and we thank you for allowing us to participate in this beautiful gathering of souls and beings. We'd like to talk to you a little bit tonight about the energy of exchange, as well as the energy of flow. You have all been talking about the experiences that you have had over the last 2 to 4 weeks, some of which have been somewhat energetically challenging. You probably are also noticing things that you have not noticed before. Many people, as we've talked about before, are having some challenges with what we will call, as you know, we usually call this the 3D world or the old world systems. And we want to provide you with some information, some food for thought, to assist you in helping things to flow more freely. And it's about the energy of giving and the energy of receiving, or the energy of exchange, or the energy of flow. And there are so many things that we could talk about, but we would hope that we can help you fine-tune some of the information that you are receiving, and fine-tune yourself to allow your own inner being and the energy to flow through you more freely. Because as the changes are happening in the external world, and as all the new energies are filtering into your planet and into your vibratory field, it can be a little disconcerting to not understand what you're feeling. Whether it's the information you're receiving from others or the information you're receiving from yourself. So you are probably feeling the energy of a lot of stopping and a lot of starting, or as was described a little bit earlier, the energy of being on a roller coaster. You're going up and then you're coming down very quickly sometimes. And so we are hoping that we can provide you with some guidance that will allow those ups and down to be less high and less low, and flatten them out a little bit, and help you to understand how much more easily you can flow through the experiences and circumstances that are now happening. So as you know, everything is energy. Whether it is the chair you are sitting on, the car that you drive, the things that you feel, your emotions, the people around you, the beings around you. Your health is an energetic component. The things that you own are energy. So we want you to think from the perspective of anything that we're talking about relate to the energy of flow. Anything and everything can flow, from material things to emotions to love. And so anything that we talk about assisting you from the perspective of helping you clear potential blocks and to help things flow a little bit more easily, we want you to understand that it can apply to any part of your life. So when you are feeling stuck, or you're feeling blocked, or you're feeling that you are in a situation where your emotions are low, or your emotions are high, or you're going through this roller coaster, there are a few things that we'd like you to look around and take perspective on. And we're going to give you an idea of what we're talking about. This is an example, a situation where, let's say that every day you come into your home and you put your belongings down on a table in the hallway, and above that table there's a hole in the wall. And you say to yourself, I've got to fix that hole in the wall. And you go about your business, and a week passes, and every single day you come in or you leave and you stare at that hole in the wall, and you think, I need to fix that hole in the wall. And now a month has gone by, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. And every time you think about, I need to do this, or I need to do that, or I need to fix this hole in the wall, and you don't do anything about it, you're actually creating an energy blockage. You have a little bit of stuck energy that isn't going anywhere. And every time you say to yourself, I need to fix the hole in the wall, and you don't do something about it, it creates a little bit of an energy blockage. And we can tell you that the longer you say, I need to fix the hole in the wall, and the longer you don't do something about it, that little bit of stuck energy becomes bigger. And this is a bit of a silly example, but I bet, or we bet, that you can probably count at least 5 or 6 things that you say to yourself every day, where you say, I need to do this, or I need to do that, or I wish I wasn't thinking this, or I wish I wasn't feeling that. And you're creating some stuck energy within inside yourself. And we illustrate this because what that does for you is it creates non-movement of energy. And the longer that you hold things in, and the longer that you say to yourself, I need to do this, or I need to do that, and you don't let go of it, you're creating some type of blockage of energy. And this little blockage that started, this little hole in the wall that 2 years ago now you said you would be fixing, and you still think about it every time you walk by it, and you do nothing about it, you are adding to, and you're accumulating a little bit more energy on top of that. It's kind of like the proverbial snowball. It gets bigger as time goes by. Or the dominoes that are lined up many hundreds of yards, and you click off the first one and they all go down. So you're just adding to the energy of this little blockage. And 2 years ago it was a tiny little stoppage or blockage in your energy, and now it's become bigger. And now your stomach aches, and then something else happens and it ripples. So we're illustrating a point to let you know that when you hold on to something, it creates an energy blockage in your field, and it can stop energy flowing of all sorts of things. So this tiny little energy blockage that happened, this little hole in the wall that bothered you 2 years ago, can actually stop the flow of well-being in your body. It can stop the well-being in those around you if you allow it to get big enough. And so this is simply a small illustration of when you're unable to let go and let things flow, how little things can manifest into big energy blockages. And so we're illustrating this in a way that we want you to be very aware of when you have repetitive thoughts, or you're unable to let things go, or you choose not to let things go. You can create many sorts of stoppages and startages. Stops and starts, let us say that. Starts and stops, or stops and starts, that segment your energy in ways where you're feeling like you're going over speed bumps and sometimes hurdles. So we suggest that when you have recognition that you're feeling things or thinking things in a repetitive way, we ask you to ask yourself, is this of benefit to you? Or is this of benefit to me? And it's really, really important for you to be aware of how the little things can become very large things. And as you are aware of these energy blips or energy spots or energy stops in your own self, you'll be aware of how you can actually start the flow going, because something as simple as a little hole in the wall that happens repeatedly, and you think about it and you don't allow that energy to flow, you are actually stopping the flow of many things coming into your lives. And we know this is a very small illustrative perspective, but we really want you to think about this in everything that you do. As you put things off, as you choose to think about things in a way that you know it's there and you don't want to do something about it, you choose to focus on it and it really doesn't matter, but you are stopping the flow of energy. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a hole in the wall or something to do with a family member or something that you're worried or concerned about. They all can cause blockages in your energy field and stops the influx and the outflux of energy coming into you and out and going out. The other thing that we would also ask you to be very aware of is in the days and times that you're going through right now, to continue to ensure that the energy is flowing very smoothly within you and around you. Be very aware of how you exchange energy with others. If you're constantly giving of yourself, giving of your time, giving of your material things, money, health, love, and you don't allow that to come back into yourself, you're going to deplete your energy. You're going to feel exhausted and tired. And so we say this in a way that we want you to be aware that as you are going throughout your day and your life, just be very aware of how you exchange your energy. When you give without receiving, you also stifle the flow of energy coming into you. When you receive without giving, you also can stifle the flow. You came to this experience to be vehicles to allow the energy of your life force to flow smoothly through you. And these things that we are talking about tonight, when you have the repetitive thoughts of being depleted or causing some energy blockages within yourself, you're not allowing that life force to flow smoothly through you. And so we just ask you to examine your practices, your thoughts, and your feelings as you go through the day, and just be very aware that you have the ability to allow this life force and the energies of love to flow through you. And if you're in a position or in an experience where you are feeling that something is not coming into your experience, examine yourself and your surroundings to understand what might be causing the blockages.